Hi friends, it's Amanda here from Fun Hands-On Learning, and today I'm going to go through some of the math activities that I have for early kindergarten, like a pre-K-ish, early kindergarten through first grade. And what we're doing this week, I'm going to walk you through. We are doing 2 different units from my early learners math curriculum. So with my pre-K early kindergarten, I am doing the comparing numbers unit. And then with my first grader, we are working on telling time. So this bin, I put both the units, the time and money units in here, but this week we're just focusing on telling time. And then we're also doing a few other things that we're just kind of like reviewing from previous lessons, and so I will show you that as well. I'm going to start with that, in fact, because I showed you maybe a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, that I pulled out the fall math activities that I had from, I have kindergarten activities that I made for every single season and basically every month of the year. And so I pulled out the ones that are for fall. So these ones are for October-ish because I have new ones for November for Thanksgiving. So I pulled out the October ones, and we've been working through these. So even though these do not match with the 2 units I'm doing from our early learners math curriculum, we're still doing these. So if you didn't see that video, I did show you how we're using these, but I did not show you this activity because I changed it up. So I'm going to show you that one today. So anyways, if you didn't see that video, I showed you that we were doing the fall shape matching. So that just kind of reviews shapes, basic 2D shapes. We're doing the pattern one, so this one reviews patterns, and we're still doing them kind of over and over again so that he is getting continual review of other skills besides just the unit we're working on. So this is the other one, which is practicing on counting and matching, which you can turn into an addition and subtraction activities, which I think I showed in the other video. And so this time I'm going to show you these basic count and clip cards. And the reason I'm going to show you this is because I kind of changed it up and made it a little bit more difficult. Now, if you just have a young preschooler, then all they would do is they would count and they would have to find the matching number. So you would take a card, you've seen something like this before, I'm sure, and they would count 1, 2, 3, 4 pumpkins, and then they would mark the 4 in some way. They can use a manipulative. I'm going to show you here. These are our little fall manipulatives. They're just little, I don't know, spongy, not spongy, what's the word for these? They're foam, that's what they are. They're little foam pictures, you know. So they would take their little foam picture and then they would cover up the answer like this. You can also use, can you see that? You can also use the little clothespin clips, and they can mark their answer. You can use a dry erase marker and they can circle their answer, things like that. So what I'm going to show you here is that what I did for my pre-K early kindergartner is I made these a little bit more difficult and I gave him 2 cards at once. Okay, so I'm just going to pick 2. Okay, so here's how I made this activity into practicing addition. So like I said, I gave him 2 cards, and then I decided to use manipulatives with him so that he wouldn't have to focus on writing the numbers. He could just use the manipulatives. So these are some puzzle pieces that we have with numbers on them, some magnetic numbers that we have, and just some other little magnetic pieces that we have. And then these are just some dice here that have numbers on them. All right, so what we did is we made number sentences. So first he did like normal, he counted it. So this is 4, his answer is 4. So he could just go ahead and mark it with one of his little manipulatives here. I dropped one. And then this one is 2, so he could go ahead and mark that. Now I said, all right, now we're going to add them up. We're going to see if we put this barrel of pumpkins together with this barrel of pumpkins, how many would that make? So what he did is he would write the number sentence. So this one was 4, so he'd take out a 4 manipulative. This one was 2. He took out a 2 manipulative. And then we added it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer, if we added them up, would be 6. So he would put a 6 manipulative. And then the last step is to write in our signs. So he knows the plus sign and the equal sign. And since I have over here some little magnets, he can use a plus magnet And he can use his little equals magnet and write it in like that. That way they can make a number sentence. Now, if you don't have the little manipulatives, you go ahead and just use a dry erase marker on a board like this, which is dry erase, and the students could go ahead and write it. So they would write 4, because we've got our 4 there. They can even circle it instead of using the manipulative. Plus, we said this one had 2, equals, when we add that up, 4, 5, 6. So you can use a marker like that. Now, another way to help students who are just learning how to add is to have them use their manipulatives when they're adding. So as they're adding the pumpkins, they can place a real pumpkin, well, not a real, but a toy manipulative pumpkin on the pumpkins to count them. So they would do it like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they're going to keep going because we're going to add these ones in. 5, 6. So just moving those manipulatives around helps them with the counting because they're actually physically moving the numbers. Okay, and then again, they can use their manipulatives or their dry erase to make the number sentence. Let's erase that. Okay, so now we have 4 plus 2, let's erase this too, equals, okay, so now we have 4 plus 2 equals 6. And so I just love using the little manipulatives. It's fall time, and I just think it's just a cute idea. I even have these little pumpkins here. These were little beads. Or are they beads? Something like that. They're harder. They're not the foam. But anyways, so those are all in here. And they just make the learning a little bit more fun. And I'm keeping them in this box because I have little ones. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old who will get into those. So we keep them in the box now, and we keep them closed up instead of, we used to keep them in a little basket. Now we keep them in the box because otherwise, as soon as they get them, they'll go all over the place. This way, it gives them a little bit of a hindrance because I have to open it. All right, let's show you some of the other activities we're doing. Okay, guys, so in this bin, I have all of our comparing numbers activity centers from my Early Learners Math curriculum, and I'm going to show you a few of them that we're doing. I'm not going to show you all of them. I've shown many of them in other videos that you can go ahead and check out on my website, but I'll show you a few that we're doing. So we are trying to compare numbers and greater, less than, and equal to. Now, what I like to teach the children is that the signs for greater, less than, and equal to are easy to remember which way they go because we pretend that they're alligators, okay? So here I have all of the pieces, and here I have some math number sticks. If you're interested in these activities, again, I always leave links below in the description box on YouTube to all the activities. So if you're ever looking for something that I created for fun hands-on learning, always go ahead and look in that description box if you're watching this on YouTube. Okay, so these are our hands-on math sticks, and these are greater, less than, and equal to, and we talk about how the alligators always want to eat the bigger numbers. So that's how we know which way to put our sign, and then they keep their mouths closed if the numbers are exactly the same. So those are our sign sticks. Now we don't need that for this activity. This comparing number activity is called count and compare. So what they're going to do, this one already has some writing on it. I need to get like some water to fix that one. So we'll just use this one. You can tell some of these have been used. But what they're going to do is they're going to take a strip that looks like this, and they are going to go ahead and count how many are on each side. So on this side, I have 4 balloons. Now they can use a dry erase marker to write their answer or manipulatives if the students are really young and not quite proficient with their writing. So on this side I have 4, and on this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. So where's my 9? All right, is that a 6? This looks like a 9. Okay, no, that is a 9. Okay, so anyway, so I have 4 and 9. So we're going to look at our balloons and decide, well, which one has more? Which number is greater? Well, 9 balloons is more than 4 balloons, so that 9 is greater. So then we're going to find the correct sign to put in to say that 9 is greater than 4. Okay, and so there's just a handful of these little signs here, greater, less than, and equal to, that the kids can use. And then they'll just keep going. And there's different ones. Some of them have balloons. Some of them have these fish. Is that it? Oh, no, some of them have, here, I'll show you one with the fish. Okay, so let me move that one. All right, so this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this side has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, 5 and 10. So which one's greater? Again, it's this side. So I'm going to find my sign where the alligator is chomping on the bigger number. Of course, the alligator always wants to eat the bigger number. So she is going to have her mouth facing towards the 10. And then the other ones we have here are just piggy banks with money. All right, so if I move this, so the piggy banks look like this, and they count the change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this side. And 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this side. So which one is greater? Now these are close numbers, but again, we can see that 8 comes after 7, so 8 is greater than 7. And then, of course, they would find their correct card and place it in there, like so. If you wanted to use manipulatives so that the kids could even see even more greater or less than, what you would do is, let me show you this. Okay, so you would have them count out 8 of one manipulative on this side, obviously. And then you would have them count out, okay, let's see, 6. Now, what I would do so that they could actually see that it's greater or less than is I put them all in a row. So, this one is 8. That's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need one more. 8. Can you see that? Okay, yes, you can. So there are 8 leaves on this side, and then this side I'm going to do the green leaves, and we're going to do 7 of them. So the kids would count out 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just using these leaves because that's what I have here, but you could use any manipulative you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the last step for them to see, okay, which one's greater, is they put them next to each other like this. And then they're going to see which one, once the pairs stop, which one still has more. So I'm pairing them up. And then I see that, whoop, my 8 has one more than my 7. So 8 is greater than 7. And then, of course, they would find the alligator that is ready to eat the bigger number, and that would be their sign. So if a child needs that extra step and needs to, instead of just using the pictures, if they need that extra step to see which one's greater, you can use some manipulatives like so. Okay, guys, so I'm not going to show you any more of my comparing number activities that I have ready for this week. However, this whole bin is full of them, and they all come from my Early Learners Math curriculum. This one's a really fun one where they build with either Lego bricks or snap cubes or something to do greater or less than. And so anyways, there's a whole handful of them. I'll leave a link below to the curriculum if you're interested. You could also just get this unit if you're only wanting to work on this unit. I'll leave links. But anyways, I'm going to move on now to the telling time activities that I'm doing with first grade. Okay, friends, so there are just a plethora, that word is so weird, of telling time activities from my Early Learners Math curriculum. You can see here. And I'm just gonna, we're practicing these all week, but I'm just gonna show you a few of them. So which one do I wanna show you? Okay, I'm just gonna start with this one, which is roll and cover the time. All right, so this one has some different telling time mats, and then you get 2 dice that look like this. So you choose a mat, and then you get the die that you are supposed to use with the mat, and you're going to roll it. And then when the kids roll it, I rolled 12:30. So I have to look over my mat and find a time that says 12:30, and here I see one. So this clock says 12:30, and then the students are going to use any manipulative that you have for them to cover it up. Of course, since I have my fall manipulatives out, that's what I'm going to use. So we're going to cover up that one with a pumpkin, and then that's all they would do. They would continually roll, And so this one says 9 o'clock. I'm gonna look on my mat. Here I see 9 o'clock. And I'm gonna cover that one up with some corn. And so yeah, they're just gonna continue until they have covered up their entire mat. Here is 3:30. Now, if they roll, and that one says 3:30. Okay, so if they roll and they don't have any more to cover up, then they just roll again until they get one that they need. So yeah, so this one's a lot of fun. That's just rolling and covering up, and there's two different mats, so they could play it more than once at different times. So yeah, we're gonna do this one this week. All right, I'm gonna show you one more of these telling time activities. Now, these activities are for after you have already taught the students how to tell time, then they are to go ahead and do these activities as reinforcement of what you have taught. So on this one, you're going to get a lot of cards that look like this. They're little kids holding clocks. And then they have a digital time down here. And the students are to reconstruct the analog time on here using a little bit of Play-Doh and some pipe cleaners. And I've already cut some of my pipe cleaners. You want to cut them into just small little strips because you want to have hour hands and minute hands. So you want one shorter and one longer. So they have an hour hand and a minute hand. And this is to remind the students that the hour hand is shorter and the minute hand is longer. And here they can physically see, because you have cut them, that one is shorter and one is longer. So that will help them remember that the hour hand is shorter and the minute hand is longer. All right, so all they're gonna do is they're just gonna take a tiny bit of Play-Doh and stick it right here on in the middle of the clock. And the Play-Doh is just to hold on the pipe cleaners, but it also kind of helps them with their fine motor skills a little bit. All right, so they're gonna look at their time and they're gonna say to themselves, okay, when it is 2 o'clock and there are no minutes, 00, which number does the minute hand point to? Well, it points to the 12. And I know my minute hand is the longer one, and I know when it points to the 12, that means no minutes. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do, is put my long one pointing at the 12. And then what they're gonna do, you can use your dough to kind of hold it on. All right, then what they're gonna do is they're gonna say, okay, then I have 2 o'clock, and when it's 00, then it points exactly at the 2, and they're gonna do like so. And there I have made 2 o'clock. And then they can go on, they can grab another card and do the next one. And these cards work on hour and half hour. So here you can see some more. So this one would be 6 o'clock, and this one would be 2:30. So they work on hour and half hour. So the kids are going to be practicing hour and half hour. And of course, if it's half hour, then they're going to be pointing at the minute hand at the 6, and their hour hand needs to be in between 2 of the numbers. So it's just a fun way to do it so that kids get practice in the minute hand is longer, the hour hand is shorter, and it also kind of helps with those fine motor skills and makes it fun. So that's that activity. And again, I have just a plethora of them that we're going to try to get to this week. I have one that is a cat theme, and then I have one that's a dog theme. He's a watch dog, if you get it, you know, when you wear a watch. Yeah, so there's just a handful of them we're gonna do this week. All right, that's it, guys. I wanted to just show you the activities that we're doing for, let's see, this would be the 4th week of October that we're getting into here, and I cannot believe it. I am at the end of my pregnancy. I'm due in December, so actually I still have a little bit of ways to go, but I'm getting to the end, and we are renovating our house a little bit, and we already moved some of the kids into different rooms because we're kind of making things bigger and opening things up. So that's why I haven't been on YouTube a whole lot. I've been trying to at least do 1 video a week for you guys, but this is why I haven't been doing our weekly, like, what's in their workbox videos, because it's just too hard, because that would be 3 videos a week, because I would have to do preschool, I would have to do pre-K kinder, and then I would have to do 1st grade. And it's just, I can't do 3 videos a week. So what I did is last week I showed you the phonics activities we were working on, and then some of them. And then this week I showed you the math activities we're working on. I haven't gotten back to showing you our preschool, those activities for my 2-3-year-old activities yet. Well, I've showed you them like a couple weeks ago. It's been a while. But anyways, just to let you know why I've been kind of slower on getting videos out. It's only because I'm getting towards the end of my pregnancy and we're doing a ton of stuff to just, you know, fix up our house and get things made. And I'm so excited. Like our house, just so many things are happening, and we've just reorganized and redecorated, and it just, I really cut down on our stuff. And it's just been a lot of fun to actually finally, you know, do things how I want them to be around here. And my kids have a lot more room in their rooms, and some of them are in new rooms, and it's just fun to kind of prepare. So, and then come in December, I probably won't be doing videos. Well, my baby's not due till the end of December, the very end. So I probably won't be doing videos come the very end of December, early January, but then I'll get back into it once I feel ready to get into it after we have the baby. But I appreciate you guys following along with me. I love that you guys watch my videos, and here are the talking hands, right? But we will see you next time, guys. Bye.